Hey guys, Magnus here, and I apologise this is a little bit late. I probably should have got this out yesterday, but I didn't. So we're going to be doing an Act 1 and 2 review for, of course, the Simpsons Tapped Out Game of Games event. So basically this is like a new format of my How Is It So Far videos. So I used to do How Is It So Far videos where I talked about like after like midway through the event, normally when Act 2 dropped, and to be fair, they'd probably make more sense if I did them here, but instead what I'm going to do is, because they're essentially a mini event format, these multi-events that we're getting, I'm just going to do an Act 1 and 2 review when Act 2's dropped, and then I'll do an Act 3 and 4 review when Act 3 and 4 have dropped, just so you guys can keep up with my opinions on the game. So, yeah, so we'll talk about Act 1 and 2 today, and then in like 2 weeks we'll probably talk about Act 3 and 4. So, first of all, we have Act 1, and we'll talk about that first, which is called E4 No Access Pass. So yeah, we of course, for both acts, we've got 5 prizes. So, for E4 No Access Pass, these are the prizes we get. We have the E4 Convention Center, we have Blocko Land, the Earthland Realms Blocko Dragon, the Flower Cart of Love, and the Detonator. So we got 2 buildings, 2 decorations, and 1 character. So, first of all, we'll talk about the first prize, the E4 Convention Center. I quite like this building. I think it is very nice. It's a nice building. You know, it's cool. It's also like the main sort of building for the event. I think it looks fine. It's nice. It's easy enough to decorate. So I think it's a good building. The second building is the Blockoland building. This one I think is a little small, and I would have preferred it if it was a little bit bigger. I don't mind it, and I'm glad they finally added it into the game, because it was one of the buildings that I really wanted to see. That being said, I just think it could be far bigger. It's a little small at the minute for my liking. The third thing is the Earthland Realms Blocko Dragon. Now, I talked about Earthland Realms. I really think they could have done an Earthland Realms act. I mean, they could have done a whole event on Earthland Realms, really. But we got the Blocko Dragon, which I think I talked about in my video. So this was just seen in an episode inside of a store. So it's kind of cool. It connects with the Blocko stuff. And I guess it is technically from a game. So it makes sense that they gave us that as well. I don't dislike it, but it's nothing to write home about. The Flower Cart of Love, I think it's a bit bland, to be honest with you. I don't think it's like an amazing event. Amazing decoration. It's kind of, we've seen stuff like this before, so it's a bit of a pass on my opinion. It's nothing great. It's nothing like exciting to unlock. At least the Earthland Realm Dragon looks kind of cool. And then finally we have the Detonator, who I think is a shit character. I'll be quite honest. I just think he's kind of boring. Nothing really great about him. There's nothing to write home about. He's very bland. He doesn't really do much. And his questline was meh. And that's another thing. We are only gonna get 3 parts for each questline, which I think is so annoying, because we used to get 4 for. I think at one point we used to get 5 parts for regular characters and 6 parts for premium, and then they did it so only a few had 6-part tasks, only a few, like Ronald Reagan. And then they basically now only give us 5. Then they start to give us 5 for every premium and 4 for every non-premium. And now they've done it for 3 each. So each character's getting 3, which I think is really lazy. And yeah, it's the same with the Detonator. Like here, he only has 3 parts. The questline for this act, I think was okay. There wasn't anything. Again, it wasn't terrible, but it really wasn't great. It was just kind of a standard tapped out thing, but I do think some of the writing is a little lazy. I'll be honest. I think the quality of the quest line in terms of like the speech bubbles has really gone downhill, in my opinion. I just think it's not as great as it used to be. But that's Act 1. I talked about it more in length in my other one. I'm not going to bother talking about the premium stuff, because obviously I do separate videos on the premium stuff anyway, so there's no point just repeating my opinions on the premium items. But there you go, that's Act 1 for you guys. And then we have Act 2 here. So for Act 2, it's called Siblings and Sorority. Sorcery. What am I about? Siblings and Sorcery. No, that's Act 3. What am I about? Oh no, Act 2 is called Wild Wild Quest. There you go. I'm already messing up. So we got These are the items we get. Again, another 5. We have the Maple headquarters. We have Crustcraft Krusty, the Happy Little Elves farm, Time Snowboarder display, and Stormy Island. So, 2 decorations, 2 buildings, and 1 costume. So, opposed to the 2 decorations, 2 buildings, 1 character. So the Maple HQ I think is pretty cool. I think this is one of the better buildings we've got in the game this year. I think it is a really awesome building to look at. I think it looks really cool. The animations are cool. My one downfall with it is I really, really, really wish you could place it on water, and it just sort of sticks out the water. Or possibly, alternatively, maybe they could like redesign it when it's placed on water, so you'd like see it underneath the water. I don't know. That could be kind of cool. It can be placed on the squid port, which is, I guess, is a compromise, but I would have much preferred it if they could have placed it on water. But yeah, it's a pretty cool building. I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy it. Then we have Crustcraft Krusty as a costume. I thought it was kind of bland. Didn't really do anything too much to me. It wasn't really much of a standout costume at all. There wasn't anything great about it. It was just kind of meh. There wasn't, like I said, anything to write home about. It was very mediocre. We have the Happy Little Elves farm, and I'm very disappointed with this one too. I think that, yeah, it's not a great building. Again, we've seen stuff like this multiple times, so yeah, I wasn't too happy with it. It's nothing really, just kind of sits there. Yeah, I don't think it's that great. We have the Time Snowboarder display, which to me is very odd. It was odd that they added this in, and I just don't think it's that great. Again, there's nothing really too amazing about this either. It's a kind of meh decoration. And then finally, Stormy Island. I do admit this one's pretty cool. You can place it on the water. Well, you have to place it on the water. It's a little island you have. I don't mind this one. I think it's okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a cool decoration. It's probably one of the better decorations we've got. It's the best decoration out of both the 2 acts. But yeah, and that's Act 2. In terms of the quest line, yeah, it's pretty much on par with the Act 1. It's no better and no worse. So yeah, that's Act 2. Nothing else to say. So in terms of like which one I prefer, I mean it's difficult to say because I'm probably going to say Act 1 though, you know, because we got the E4 Convention Center, the Blocker Lander, which I think's okay, and the Earth Realms Blocker Dragon is cool enough. I wasn't a big fan with the Flower Cart, and I wasn't a big fan of the Detonator, and with the Wild Wild Quest, I liked the Maple headquarters, and I liked Stormy Island, and that was about it. So, I think narrowly, just by the Earthland Realms Blocker Dragon being okay, just for not being disappointing, for it just being okay, Act 1 comes through as the better act. But we'll have to see, because we're going to be getting Report Card and Dash Dingo in the next act, and I am really excited for Dash Dingo and Report Card, so I feel like Act 3 is going to be the strongest of the acts, even though some of the other things don't look too great in it, but we'll have to see. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Tell me your thoughts on the event so far. Which act did you prefer? And tell me your thoughts on both the acts. Did you like both the acts? Did you dislike one in particular? Tell me. And yeah, I'll see you next one. Goodbye.